I'm going to be ranking the best point guards in NBA 2K23 My Team. We have a tier list here ranking from S that goes all the way down to D tier, and we have about 25 of the best point guards in the game. Let me know in the comment section down below, what would you guys change about my tier list, and let me know who are some of your guys' favorite point guards in the game as well. Looking at the first point guard here on the tier list is going to be the Galaxy Gilbert Arenas. I would say honestly probably going to be in that A tier category. He's a point guard shooting guard, 6'3" with a 6'9" wingspan, and he's going to be a really good offensive point guard, having a 94 3 ball, 94 mid range, and some really good Hall of Fame shooting badges: guard up, green machine, agent 3, amped, limitless range. And then defensively, really not going to be the greatest, but he's going to be fast, 93 speed, 93 acceleration, with also having a 95 ball handle and a 93 speed with ball. I will say I do wish he had Hall of Fame quick first step and Hall of Fame claim breaker. I think that would definitely make the card a lot better. The fact that he only comes with silver, is just a little bit disappointing for a point guard. But other than that, I mean, Gilbert is a very solid point guard. Just jump shot wise, I don't feel like it's the best release, and his SIGs are going to be kind of questionable. So overall, I think he's going to be a B tier point guard. Definitely really solid though, especially for being a free card. Now talking about Pink Diamond Lonzo Ball, I do believe he's going to be a top 5 point guard in the game. If you guys don't know, S tier is going to be my top 5 point guards in my team right now, and I would definitely say Lonzo is somewhere at least in that top 5. I used to think he was number 2 or number 3. I think now he might be number 4 or number 5. He's a point guard shooting guard, 6'6" with a 6'7" wingspan, I should say, and he's going to give you some amazing all-around defense. 93 perimeter, 93 lateral quickness, 92 steal, and then he also does have an 80 block and an 80 interior defense. Taking a look at the Hall of Fame defensive badges, he does have Hall of Fame Challenger, Glove, and Menace as well. And then offensively, he's not going to be anything too crazy. I mean, the biggest flaw with this card is only having Bronze Claim Breaker and Bronze Quick First Step. Other than that though, I do think he's a really solid point guard, able to slash to the basket. He's 6'6", has a really good player model, and then defensively going to be one of the best point guard defenders in the game because of his player model, defensive stats, and badges as well. So for me, Lonzo Ball gonna be a top 5 point guard. Talking about Diamond Alex Caruso, I would say he's probably gonna be in B tier. I still feel like he's very solid at the point guard spot. I just think there's a lot better of options at point guard right now. So I'd say Caruso probably going to be in that B tier category. Now, a really surprising one, I'm going to keep LaMelo Ball in the A tier category for now. Now, he might get moved up to S tier later in the video. I think if he were to, he'd probably be the 5th best point guard. But looking at LaMelo here, stats and badges wise, he doesn't really look to be anything too crazy. Obviously, he's 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan, which is really nice for the point guard spot. But I mean, taking a look at these stats, they're very, very average. And same thing with the, badges. Like, he doesn't even come with Claim Breaker, and Claim Breaker is one of the most important badges in my team this year, at least in my opinion, and he doesn't come with limitless range. So I know he's still a really good point guard. I would say at least A tier and maybe even an S tier, but like bronze clamps, he can't get, I mean, anchor doesn't matter too much on a point guard, but he can't get, higher clamps than bronze. He only comes with like silver, gold, silver glove, silver challenger, interceptor. I mean, stats and badges wise, this card really isn't anything too crazy, and the only reason why this card gets saved, and the reason why he's an A tier point guard and maybe even S tier, is because of his animations. He's got one of the best bases in the game. It's also on Tim Thomas, who we all know has one of the best jump shots in the game, and that is mainly due to the LaMelo Ball base. It's going to be on quick timing, so super fast jump shot, and then he does have the best dribble style, the MJ dribble style, and the best leaner as well, the normal leaner. So that's the reason why he's still a top 4, 5, 6 point guard in the game. But for me, I think right now he's going to be in that A tier spot. Talking about Pink Diamond Cade, I would say he's probably on the same level as a guy like Gilbert Arenas and Caruso as well. I mean, he's a 6'6" point guard, which is obviously the only really good thing about the card. I mean, not going to be that great on the defensive end, and offensively he does feel like a cone. So I'd say honestly Cade probably going to be in that B tier category. Now this Chris Paul card, I know there's probably some people that would go with him, but he's a 6-foot point guard and he can't dunk the basketball. Yes, he plays okay defense for his stats, but he's 6 foot, he can't dunk the ball. Yes, he has some really good defensive stats and badges, but he's 6 foot tall, so he's just gonna get mashed down low. For me, I just can't use 6 foot point guards that can't dunk. So for me, Chris Paul just kind of gonna have to be in that D tier category. Now Opal Steph Curry, I think, is honestly one of the most underrated point guards in the game. I'm not gonna go as far to say he's an S tier point guard, a top 5 point guard. I'm not exactly sure if he's gonna be top 5, but this card is actually very, very nice at the point guard spot. He's 6'3" with a 6'3" wingspan, but I mean, stats and badges wise, this card's super, super elite, and he's gonna be one of the best 3 hunters in the game. I do like the fact that he has Hall of Fame claim breaker, quick first step is really nice to have on a point guard, and then everything else besides like driving dunk, like even his defensive stats are actually very, very elite, and he does have a 70 driving dunk, so at least he can dunk the ball at a decently high rate. So honestly guys, Curry's gonna be in that A tier category and maybe even in the top 5, but most likely not. Talking about Diamond DeJounte Murray, I would say he's probably on the same tier as a guy like Crusoe. Very similar point guards, just going to be great defenders and decent on the offensive end as well. And another B tier point guard, actually 2 in a row, is going to be De'Aaron Fox and Donovan Mitchell as well. First off, talking about D Mitch, he is only 6'1", so definitely going to be a little bit undersized. And you might be saying, oh, Chris Paul's 6 foot, why is D Mitch not down in D tier as well? But the thing with D Mitch is he can actually dunk the ball at a very high rate. Like, that's probably one of the best things about D Mitch, is going to be his slashing ability. And then De'Aaron Fox, I do think is probably one of the best point guards in B tier right now. Like, I think he's a decent amount better than guys like Crusoe, DeJounte Murray, D Mitch, but I would say for me, they're probably all going to be in that B tier category. Now, Magic Johnson's a very interesting card. I think for me, in my play style, he's only going to be in the A tier category. I do think he's a better point guard than everybody in B tier, but I just really don't like his dribble style. I do not like the way the card moves, and I hate his jump shot. I understand though he's a 6'9" point guard, and he's super valuable if you know how to use the card right and you build a really good lineup around him. So I will say Magic Johnson at least going to be in the A tier category for me, maybe S tier, but we'll talk about that later in the video. A point guard that's definitely going in S tier is going to be this Shea card. He's an absolute beast at the point guard spot, one of the best offensive point guards in the game, and just going to be super well rounded. So for me, he's going to be in that top 5. Now, Gary Payton, I think, is also just going to barely miss out on the top 5. A really good defensive point guard. Like, if we take a look at the stats, he is actually a really good defender, one of the best in the game. He's 6'4" with a 6'7" wingspan. He's got 98 perimeter defense, 98 lateral quickness, 98 steal, and some really good Hall of Fame defensive badges like Challenger, Clamps, Glove, Interceptor, Menace, and then even has like Gold Anchor, Ankle Braces, Chase on Artist, Workhorse. Like, he's a great defender, and then even super fast on the offensive end, having a 95 speed, 95 acceleration with a 91 speed with ball, or sorry, 91 ball handle and a 95 speed with ball. So this Gary Payton card actually super elite on the defensive and offensive end as well, and for me, going to be at least an A tier point guard. Now, James Harden, this might be a little bit shocking, but I'm going to go C tier. Now, I do like Harden cards. I loved using his card last year in my team, but his jump shot just doesn't feel the same to me, and even his movement really doesn't feel that great. So unfortunately, even though I'm a massive James Harden fan in my team, I loved using his cards in past my teams. Just for right now, I don't think I can put him much higher than C tier, but I think maybe later in the year, once his jump shot gets quicker, he could definitely be higher in the tiers. Talking about Pink Diamond John Stockton, honestly, I think he's going to have to go in D tier. He is a lot better of a card than I thought he would be. Like, he's really not that terrible, right? He's 6'1" with a 6'4" wingspan, and he's basically just going to be another Chris Paul, where he can't dunk. He's going to have some really good defensive stats, and he's going to be a good 3 hunter as well, but he just can't dunk the ball, and he's 6'1". So unfortunately, going to have to be in the same tier as Chris Paul. Very similar point guards. I would actually say a guy like Stockton is a little bit better though. And then talking about Amethyst, Kevin Porter Jr., I do think he's actually going to be in that B tier category. Like, this KPJ card is an absolute bucket on the offensive end, one of the best offensive point guards in the game, especially for being this low of a tier. Like, he's probably a top 5 to 7 offensive point guard in the game, so I'd say he's probably going to be in that B tier category. Looking at Pink Diamond Luka Doncic, kind of for the same reason as James Harden, I just feel like their movement and their jump shots aren't as good as they were last year. Like, we all know Luka Doncic from 2K22 was absolutely unstoppable and easily the best card in the game on next gen, but this year his jump shot just isn't the same. He doesn't have that super uncontestable release like he did in last my team. He obviously had that super glitchy jump shot, and then defensively, really not going to be anything too crazy, not going to go into the basket, and really not that fast. So for me, Luka Doncic and James Harden going to be very similar point guards, just like they are in real life. I think definitely similar players. I think they're both going to be in that C tier category. Looking at Diamond Stephon Marbury, to me, he's pretty much just a budget Gary Payton. Like, they are very similar cards, and you can honestly make an argument that Marbury is a better point guard than GP, depending on whose jump shot you like more. But for me, I think they're very close and both going to be in that A tier category. Great defensive point guards who can still create on the offensive end and be of value offensively. Looking at the next point guard here is going to be Pink Diamond Penny Hardaway. I still believe he's the best point guard in the game. I would say Shea's probably number 2, but yeah, this Penny Hardaway card, an absolute beast, and has been the best point guard in the game since he came out over a month ago now. He's 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan. I mean, he just does everything at a super high level. Right now in the game, for most point guards, you don't need them to do anything too crazy. You just want them to have Hall of Fame clamp breaker, quick first step, which Penny Hardaway does, because those are super key badges to have on your point guard. And then other than that, I mean, you want them to be taller, right? 6'6", 6'5" and above is obviously what you would rather have on your point guard. And then just be, you know, decent at shooting threes, able to knock down a jump shot, and be good at going to the basket as well, which Penny Hardaway is all super elite at. So for me, I do think Penny Hardaway going to be the best point guard in the game. So definitely in that S tier category. Now looking at Pink Diamond Rex Chapman, I think he's probably going to be in B tier. I mean, he's really high B tier for me. I think you can maybe make an argument for him being in low A tier, and maybe we'll move him up later in the video. Definitely the best point guard in B tier though, a really good all-around point guard. Pink Diamond Derrick Rose, I think he's gonna have to also be in B tier. Like a lot of these B tier point guards are very similar. Pink Diamond Russ, I think for now is gonna be in that A tier category. Maybe we move him up to S tier later in the video. He's one of the best slashers in the game, at least for the point guard. Like I think for the point guard position, Russ is the best slasher in the game, which is obviously really good for 2K23 because that's what the game's about. A lot of it is rim running, and that's what Russ excels at. So for me, gonna be an A tier point guard. And then looking at the last 3 point guards here, Trae Young gonna have to be in that D tier category. I think Dwayne Wade is gonna be in B tier. Jump shot is super slow, but other than that, he's still gonna be really good defensively. And then I do think John Wall is gonna be in that A tier category. So guys, we have to move 2 of these point guards from A tier into the S tier category. And this might be a little bit surprising, but I'm gonna go Russell Westbrook. And I'm gonna go Magic Johnson. I usually hate Magic and always rank him super low on my tier list, but I've seen the light with Magic, man. I've seen how people use him and why he's super elite. I think I'm also gonna move Rex Chapman up into that A tier category because I do feel like he's the best point guard in B tier, and I feel like he deserves to be in that low A tier spot. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about my point guard tier list, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.